chamba siva bwino yayi bawuja bana sabu
oche si solution kuti bazimwambu bafunika bakasi kenga kwatu maskills kwamle bashitako banzao so that bashandize command government fanga kunenchito maningi chabetinga cha appreciate bakazi ba muna wonse waonongeka
counseling sessions for our youths that are people who are using drugs, and also we have a clinic at the University Teaching Hospital.
So from youth empowerment to health, education, development, and the everyday challenges affecting our people, we bring the community closer to the conversations that inspire change. Watch My Community right here on BMTV every Sunday at 17 hours. Keep watching BMTV.
Ifyevo fyaba fyashi tababo ngoni pachalo engama kubombesha banjebele.
Kale nezo sakira dona lombani mupeza. Kale nezo sakira dona lombani mupeza. Na pale mama kale nezo sakira dona lombani mupeza. Mamba pa mamba mama pa mamba pa mamba pa mamba. Tata ndende charo ichincha masuzyo umuntu katishe nganganga mulungu mkatishe
vintu at some point tikangarankara chepa kapita kolomolo mayezi he could still repeat the same thing. Jack uziwa uziponya konzero kuli veni chita hivi uziwa vintu kumankala ati vimachinja vintu yeza sirira chepa menapa. So and for real vinabwira vachinja vintu. So I remembered his words. Yana Bulanuza uziponya konzero. So but I missed him a lot.
Good evening, Zambia and beyond. From the heart of the nation's capital, this is BMTV News at 18 hours, where the stories shaping your world come first, fast, and with purpose. Broadcasting live on Topstar channel 114, streaming live on Facebook as BMTV channel 114, on YouTube via BMTV Zambia, and worldwide on www.bmtvzambia.com. Tonight we bring you the headlines making waves across Zambia, the region, and the globe with insight, balance, and stories that matter to you most. Let's take a look at the headlines. Tonse Pamozi alliances merge ahead of the 2026 polls. EFZ raises concern over incident media content. Emotions erupt as fire destroys property at New Soweto Market. And in international news, BRICS foreign ministers meet in India amid differences over Iran war. While in sports, new weather study warns of potentially dangerous conditions at the World Cup 2026. I'm Tamani Nkata. Welcome to the Bulletin. The Tonse Alliance and PF Pamozi Alliance have officially merged ahead of the 2026 general elections. Alliance leaders say the move is aimed at uniting opposition forces and avoiding division of votes during the year's elections. Speaking during a joint media briefing, the leaders said the new alliance will work together in candidate adoption, mobilization and campaign strategies. Our reporter, Sontra Morris Sinkala, has more details.
Leaders from the two opposition formations announced the measure following the series of consultations aimed at fostering cooperation within the opposition. PF Pamosi Alliance, which had earlier separated from the Tonse Alliance due to internal disagreements, has now joined forces in what political observers describes as a strategic move ahead of the August 13, 2026 general elections. The alliance is expected to provide a united front against the ruling United Party for National Development, UPND, with leaders indicating discussions on leadership structures and the adoption of presidential candidates are still underway.
Ukuti abantu bachula ichalo chaonaika chinshi twalaika dilansale nsale lelo twaiminya na okutila katubombele chapamo.
Political stakeholders says the measure could influence the country's political dynamics as opposition political parties continue positioning themselves for this year's general elections.
The 2026 election has been won today. In all constituencies, our candidates will not compete against one another. We shall float under one ticket. Yes. And we shall stand on one ticket. And bring back Zambia to a land of hope that it has always been.
More details regarding the leadership and operational structures of a newly merged alliance are expected to be announced in the coming weeks. Reporting for BMTV News, this is Sondwa.
The Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia has expressed concern over the growing prevalence of immoral and explicit content in Zambia's media and entertainment industry, warning that such materials threaten family values and exposes children to harmful influences. EFZ Executive Director Reverend Alan Kasungami said the organization has formally engaged the Independent Broadcasting Authority and the Zambia Information and Communications Authority to strengthen content regulation, improve monitoring mechanisms, and protect minors from harmful broadcasts. Reverend Kasungami has also called on content creators, broadcasters, advertisers, parents, and the public to promote responsible media practices that uphold Zambia's cultural and Christian values while safeguarding children and the family unit. A devastating fire has swept through sections of the New Soweto market in Lusaka, destroying property and businesses worth thousands of kwacha and leaving traders in distress as they count heavy losses. Several affected shop owners have since shared their frustrations and fears over survival following the incident, while concerns continue to rise over unsafe electricity connections at the market. Sondra Morris Sinkala has more details in the report.
Traders at the New Soweto market in Lusaka have expressed devastation after a fire swept through sections of the market, destroying goods and property worth thousands of kwacha. Mary Mtango, whose restaurant was among the affected shops, lamented the loss of her daily source of income, saying the fire has left her uncertain about how she will support her family. Meanwhile, Love Ngoma said his wife's salon was completely burnt down, leaving the family worried about their survival following the destruction of their business. A rice trader, Nkumbu Siame, expressed concern over the state of the electrical connections at the market, warning that unsafe wiring could have contributed to the incident.
Shop kwa tayari 5 yali ingisha amalight of which ifitwe efingina fyonaika so ekusakamana kwesu kuna kusoweto kuti la ifwe ku roadside kuti amashop yakwata problem ngeyikwete mu new market so tefa mutu wafwe efe mwinga tuwafwe amantu akwalesa otherwise ifwe tusangwa kusoweto kuno na tushisha rice mupunga.
And the Lusaka City Council has since urged traders operating both within and outside the new Soweto market to avoid inappropriate electrical connections in order to prevent similar incidents.
We had this incident early hours of this morning where 4 makeshift stores, as you can see, were gutted. Lusaka City Council emergency response team came on the ground and contained the fire as quickly as possible. But all we would like to appeal is that to those that are doing trade here, that they need to follow council guidelines. You know, we are suspecting illegal connection of power that ended up having these shops gutted. So as Lusaka City Council, we are appealing to traders that they need to follow council guidelines so that they operate within the confines of the law. Because illegal connection of electricity has its own consequences. And we came on the ground quickly and we contained the fire. That is why it has not spread to other stores.
Emotions erupted among shop owners as the fire destroyed property and merchandise, leaving many traders counting heavy losses. Reporting for BMTV News, this is Sontwa.
Ministry of Education Permanent Secretary, Education Services, Dr. Kelvin Mambwe, has advised public universities to guard over enrolling students beyond their capacities. Dr. Mambwe has warned that such practices undermine institutional stability and strain government resources. Speaking during his tour of the Mulungushi University in Kapiri-Mposhi and the Zambia University College of Technology in Ndola, Dr. Mambwe stressed that managing enrollment levels is critical to ensuring quality education and sustainable growth. And in his address to University Student Union leaders, Dr. Mambwe urged them to be ambassadors of peace, to resolve issues proactively and amicably, and always to embrace structured dialogue. The permanent secretary assured both institutions that the Ministry of Education will continue prioritizing investment in higher education to produce graduates who are academically competent and ready to drive Zambia's socio-economic transformation. Communities in Chipata have praised outgoing Deputy Speaker Moses Moyo for spearheading the construction of the Makwe School in Luangeni district. Residents say the project, which started with the Moyo's personal support before receiving Constituency Development Fund assistance, will provide education up to grade 12. Joseph Mushanga thanked President Hakainde Hichilema for supporting the initiative following appeals from Moyo. Another resident, Lotani Mbewe, said the community is excited about the development, adding that the newly installed mobile phone tower is another sign, of progress in the area. He noted that children from Magodi, Kachikoti, Wanga, Kampala, Munganda, and Chakwa, as well as Kalaye, Yonke, and Mshawa will benefit from this school. Meanwhile, Maureen Chira said families are relieved that children will no longer travel long distances to access education. More details in the following report.
Naiona utia ikonza tiara ikonza bwina kaya tukonzera skulu mu kunzira vana skulu vatwava basitawa imsowa mishiwa kitukuko chawela vana va skulu vazambo joka mama Magodi vambiri Kachikoti Wanga Kampala Mabunda zeli basiri hapa kwacha kalae yonke tundamu sha biye bantu bazambo kunzira pano pa school
ko nine moli ni chirwa nunkhala muzi mwa magodi pa farm ko ndi pano nkhala mwe mangiwira sukulu ini se bantu okondwa pano vana ophunzira pafupi osati kutali ndipo nisokondwera muzi anitiala muntima mwaso chinache mwe municho lini vana vamandini vopumula olumanga motezo kambira kuti fanika vakochita grade 10 vakokuyakuya lomba apa vakuphunzira pafupi apa mpaka 12 vakave pamene apa nitosangalala ndipo ngamvusherini mwati usangalire mmoyo waso.
Presidential hopeful Bmtv Zulu has taken a significant step towards the upcoming electoral process after successfully presenting the required 100 supporters for pre-processing in Lusaka. The exercise forms part of the preparations ahead of the official filing of nominations expected to take place next week. Supporters gathered in numbers to back Mr. Zulu as electoral officials conducted the verification and pre-processing procedures. Speaking shortly after the exercise, Mr. Zulu expressed confidence in the process and thanked his supporters for standing with him as he prepares the next stage of the presidential nominations. The development marks another milestone in the build-up to the forthcoming elections as aspiring candidates continue to mobilize support across the country. More details from the following clip. We take our first commercial break, and when we return, international news. Please do stay with us.
Nadibukishe ifyevo fyaba fyashi tababa ngomi pachalo engama kubomesha banjebele.
Kale nezo sakira dona lombani mupeza. Kale nezo sakira dona lombani mupeza. Na pale mama kale nezo sakira dona lombani mupeza.
Mama pa mamba mama pa mamba pa mamba pa mamba. Tata ndende charo ichincha masuzyo umuntu katishe nganganga mulungu mkatishe
vintu hivi. At some point tikankarankara chepa kapita kolo mayezi, he could still repeat the same thing. Jack uziponya kwanzeru kuli veni chita hivi uziwa vintu kumankala ati vimachinja vintu yezo sirira chepa mena hapo. So and for real vinabwira vachinja vintu. So I remembered his words. Yana bula nuza uziponya konzelu So, but I missed a lot.
Welcome back. You're still watching the BMTV main news at 18 hours. And now for international news. Foreign ministers from the BRICS group of emerging economies began a two-day meeting in the Indian capital, New Delhi, on Thursday. The gathering comes as the expanding bloc faces divisions over the war in Iran, rising energy prices, and global uncertainty. It brings together diplomats from founding members Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, along with newer member countries. They're expected to discuss economic cooperation and coordination as they position their views on key global issues. Africa News has more details.
Foreign ministers from the BRICS group of emerging economies are holding a two-day meeting in the Indian capital, New Delhi. The gathering comes as the expanding bloc faces divisions over the war in Iran, rising energy prices and growing global uncertainty. It brings together diplomats from founding members Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, along with newer member countries.
We meet at a time of considerable flux in international relations, ongoing conflicts, economic uncertainties, and challenges in trade and technology and climate are shaping the global landscape. There is a growing expectation, particularly from emerging markets and developing countries, that BRICS will play a constructive and stabilizing role.
India's having to walk a diplomatic tightrope between BRICS members who remain divided on key issues. Jaishankar called for safe, unimpeded maritime flows through international waters as the Strait of Hormuz remains under blockade, while Iran's foreign minister called on members to condemn the US and Israel over what he called their unlawful aggression against Iran.
And in more international news, Russia carried out its largest aerial attack over a two-day period since the start of its war in Ukraine, pounding the capital, Kyiv, and other cities with hundreds of drones, Ukrainian officials said today. Russia had launched more than 1,560 drones since the start of Wednesday, President Vladimir Zelensky said. At least 11 people have been killed in these strikes. More details courtesy Reuters News.
Rescuers searched for survivors after Russia launched the largest aerial attack on Ukraine over a two-day period since the war began. Kyiv said Thursday Moscow pounded the capital and cities countrywide with hundreds of drones. More than 1,560 of them, President Volodymyr Zelensky said, since the start of Wednesday. Emergency services in Kyiv cut through a collapsed concrete building on Thursday morning after the deadly overnight strikes. Fires still burning. Zelensky said the capital was the main target of the attack, with damage across 20 regions of the city. Andrew's block was hit.
It happened around 4:50 in the morning. There was a flash at first. Then there was a powerful explosion. The windows were blown out and the apartment was full of smoke.
Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Saturday that he thought the Ukraine war was coming to an end. But Zelensky stated that Russia's actions belied Putin's words. He urged for continued Western support and air defence aid. Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, and the war continues unabated, although Russian advances on the battlefield have stalled this year. There was no immediate comment from Moscow on the attacks.
We take our second and last commercial break. We'll be back in a few.
In a world of endless choices, there's only one destination that brings the entire spectrum of entertainment into focus. This is BMTV, where your world comes to life.
I'm 100% okay.
Maybe you can try and help me by buying a dog so that we are the two of us.
Experience the human stories that everyone is talking about, from the unscripted dramas of our premier reality hits to the moments that move us. We capture life as it happens, authentic and unmissable. Stay ahead of the curve with the BMTV talk show lineup. Join the conversation as we dive deep with the icons of today, bringing you exclusive interviews, expert insights, and the perspectives that shape our culture.
We're proud of you. You've done so well on pushing the works out there, raising our flag.
When it's time to escape, our original scripted series deliver world-class storytelling, compelling characters, breathtaking cinematography, and the kind of drama that keeps you on the edge of your seat, episode after episode.
You refer to me as a whore.
So it's true you can get someone out of the ghetto, but you can't get the ghetto out of their mind.
And when the weekend arrives, we bring the cinema to your living room. Saturday night movies on BMTV. The biggest local blockbusters and timeless classics presented exactly the way they were meant to be seen.
What if it is true? What if someone did kill my father?
From the hottest music chart toppers to non-stop entertainment news, we provide the heartbeat of your home.
What was the purpose of even sometimes getting to camp in Europe? What did we learn from that?
BMTV, reality, conversation, culture, cinema, comedy. It is all here on Topstar Channel 114. BMTV, Zambia's light, Zambia's voice.
Thank you for staying with us. And now, sports news. The 2026 FIFA World Cup gets underway in less than a month. But a new world weather attribute study has scientists concerned that many matches will take place in dangerous heat conditions. Football's biggest tournament is returning to North America for the first time since 1994. The 2026 FIFA World Cup will feature 48 national teams and 104 matches played across 16 host cities over 39 days, making it the largest men's World Cup ever staged. On average, July is the hottest month of the year for the contiguous U.S., according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Climate scientists are warning about the increasing risk posed by extreme heat. Africa Sports has more details.
The 2026 FIFA World Cup gets underway in less than a month, but a new world weather attribution study has scientists concerned. They're warning that up to a quarter of the tournament's 104 matches set to be played across the US, Canada and Mexico could take place in temperatures above the recommended threshold.
What we did in this study is that we compared the chances and the intensities of these events happening now versus when US held the last World Cup tournament, which was in 1994. And what we see is that in most of the venues, actually, the risk of exceeding 26 degree of bad globe temperature is quite high.
According to the study, climate change has increased the intensity of extreme heat events at host venues, while also raising the Earth's average surface temperature. It's a dangerous combination.
These risks are escalating quite a bit. So you see that for these, for the intensities of these thresholds that we looked at, so the 26, 28, and 32 that we looked at, we are seeing an increase of another 0.7 to 1 degree. And that might sound significant. When you say 1 degree, it might sound like it's a small number, but it's really a big number. Because you can imagine from 1850 till now, our planet has warmed by 1.3, and we're already seeing these widespread impacts affecting the entire society, human and natural systems alike.
Several scheduled venues regularly see high temperatures and high humidity during the summer months. Researchers warn that spectators may face even greater risks than players because of long periods outdoors, travelling to stadiums, queuing and sitting in direct sunlight.
The Zambia Under-17 women national team are preparing for the May 24th, 2026 third round first leg FIFA World Cup qualifier against the Democratic Republic of Congo to be played at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Ndola. Coach Caro Kanyemba and her technical team are currently preparing in Lusaka before shifting base to Ndola in the final stages of the camp. Zambia hosts DRC on May 24th before traveling for the return leg 5 days later in Kinshasa. Coach Caro had this to say.
There's no easy side, just like the previous match that we played. They were newcomers, but they gave us a good run. Equally, Congo being experienced, we watched them last year when they played against Benin. They had a good side, and we are expecting a much better side, considering the time that has passed, the new players that have joined. So the last week, we entered camp on Monday. We've been working on conditioning of the girls, knowing that they come from different leagues and teams. So we've been working on conditioning, endurance, strength and speed. And this week we've started on the tactical part of it. And we opted to have a training game with Red Arrows, a big team, experienced team, matured, and see how our girls are able to respond, having put in 10 days training. And I can say so far, we are on track, but we keep on pushing with the time that is remaining. It is a disadvantage to us because we don't have the current team footage. Had they played the first round, we would have been able to see the kind of players that they have. But nonetheless, we are going to work with what we have and be able to read the game as the game starts and be able to use that against them. This is your favorite team. This is the disciplinary committee. This is the foundation of women football. You need to know them young and be able to support them. We are here to teach football, and you'll be able to see and enjoy what.
As we end the news tonight, we take a recap on the stories that made headlines. Tonse Pamozi alliances emerge ahead of the 2026 August polls. EFZ raises concern over incident media content. And emotions erupt as fire destroys property at the new Soweto market. While in international news, BRICS foreign ministers meet in India amid differences over Iran war. And in sports, new weather study warns of potentially dangerous conditions at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. On that note, we end this evening's news bulletin. Be sure to join us for more news tomorrow. On behalf of the entire production team and our reporters, this has been Tamwani Nkata. Have a pleasant evening and keep watching BMTV. Good night.